Much for being here tonight. I'm Tamsin Fidel. Let's get started because what we're talking about is the biggest potential change to America's immigration laws in almost 30 years. 14 Republicans joined every Senate Democrat to pass the bill, and this could be huge for 11 million illegal immigrants. It was put together with the bipartisan support of a group known as the Gang of Eight, but there's a gang of Republicans in the House that want to kill the bill. In fact, it could already be dead on arrival.
The strong bipartisan vote we took is going to send a message across the country. It's going to send a message to the other end of the Capitol as well. The bill has generated a level of support that we believe it will be impossible for the House to ignore.
Here in America, generations of unfulfilled dreams will finally come to pass. And that's why I support this reform. Not just because I believe in immigrants, but because I believe in America even more.
The lawmakers talk about how great this bill is. Everyone wants solid immigration reform. So what is the plan? Well, it's a comprehensive plan with a lot of moving parts. The bill has 4 sections: border security, enforcement, immigrant visas, and non-immigrant visas. Now here's a look at what those key points mean if the bill passes the House. As part of the reform, $3 billion would be spent on personnel and infrastructure, and that includes building new fences as well as bases. It also means a much tougher surveillance, and that includes deploying more unmanned drones to patrol the sky over the border. And the government will hire new Border Patrol officers. And of course, the path to citizenship is another main focus of immigration reform. More mostly undocumented immigrants. It would take 13 years, but there are a couple of fast-track exceptions. Kids who enter the U.S. before they turn 16 only need 5 years, and agricultural workers also get the 5-year exemption. And it's the path to citizenship that so many of our fellow New Yorkers will want to know about tonight and want to know more about. Jay Dow is here with a very personal story. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Tamsin. You know, there are so many people here who are paying very close attention to what's going on in Washington. And based on what we're hearing from Republican House Speaker John Boehner, today's immigration reform in the Senate is nothing more than a symbolic victory. But for the millions of undocumented illegal immigrants who would benefit from it, it is so much more. Pamela Dominguez looks like any other college student. She's 20 years old, spends a lot of time on her phone, and calls Queens home. But you might not have guessed that Pamela is also an undocumented illegal immigrant, brought to this country from Mexico at the age of 3 by her mother, Patricia.
I should have the same rights as everybody else. I lived here. This is my country. This is who I am. This is where I'm from.
Pamela did not find out she was in the U.S. illegally until she was a teenager.
What really hit me was when I wasn't able to get financial aid and apply for my dream school. So I had to lower my standards, I guess you could say, and go into a community college. So that's when it really hit me.
So you can imagine how she reacted Thursday when she learned the U.S. Senate passed the most aggressive immigration reform in a generation.
I was just really, really excited. It meant a lot to me because I could actually see my dreams come in reality.
The legislation, which now faces an uphill battle towards passage in the contentious House, provides a clear path to citizenship for millions of people just like Pamela.
The bill has generated a level of support that we believe it will be impossible for the House to ignore.
If immigration reform is going to work, it's essential that the American people have the confidence that it's being done correctly.
Michael Wilds is an immigration attorney.
Congress is embittered when it comes to Homeland Security. It's impassioned about protecting our borders, but it doesn't have enough handcuffs, airplanes, and officers to remove 11 million people here.
If Pamela is optimistic about her chances, then her mother is simply overwhelmed. Patricia desperately wants this idea of citizenship for her children and the possibility of achieving the American dream that was so out of reach from Mexico 17 years ago.
Very, very happy. Is one dream relation. It's for me and for my daughter, my son. It's no separation. It's no in Mexico. It's here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity here.
They didn't ask me, do you want to come? I was brought here. I was brought here for a better future, for a better life, for a better education.
House Speaker John Boehner says there is no chance the Republican-led House will take up any immigration legislation voted in the Senate because the House intends to come up with its own bill. Tamsin?
Nice when you put a face to it. So what is Pamela's dream?
Well, Pamela wants to be a teacher. You know, she knows nothing but Queens.
Right.
America. This is what she wants to do.
Nice. All right, Jay. Thank you so much.